Hello, I'm Toycat, and this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series I run on my channel and answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so on my channel. These tend to be about half split between the next update and half about my life in general, but today we have so many questions about the next update, I figured I'd go through a bunch of them and talk about Tu53/Tu54 and all the important stuff about it, release date, features, the sort of stuff you want to know, and that's what I'm doing in today's video. Hopefully you all do enjoy it, you can like the video as well because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like learning about the next update, and indeed just seeing me answer questions from you, the subscribers. So with that said, let's get straight to the first question, which comes in from Behi Shalash, who says, #Q&A, is the observer block coming to the next update? And the answer to this is no, at least not yet. We've seen the vast majority of the next update already, and we do not see any observer blocks. So the reason for this, because you might think, wait, that came to the PE in like 0.13 or 15 or something, one of the updates from 0. something even, and it came to the PC in 1.10. Why is it not come to the console, even though we're getting some 1.12 features? And I think the big answer to this is the fact that the PE version and the PC version are massively different. I think there's still some weird differences between the console redstone and both the PC and the Pocket Edition's redstone, and I think because of that, the observer block is one of those features that they'll just throw in like as a side feature in another update, but I think it requires some decent amount of effort, which is not coming into this particular update because they're focused on whatever else. So no observer block just yet, because again, console redstone still, I think it needs to be fixed at some point, but the issues that are in there are ones that like no one properly understands, so when that will happen, I don't know, but I think a part of that will probably be the observer block, and it'd be nice to see another overhaul of redstone come to the console. So that's when we'll see the observer block, but I don't imagine it'll be the next update, but it'll be a nice surprise, right? I think so. So with this said, let's move to the next question, which comes in from the Blazing James, who says, Toycat, you have said that there is not much to do in your town, that's why you travel to London, but what is there to do in your town specifically? So I think everyone has the same issue of their hometown. In fact, let me guess right now, your town right now has nothing to do. It's so boring. It's way more exciting to go over there. And the truth behind this is that most people don't, live in exciting cities, and that most people, even if the small stuff you do have in your town, you probably do it and then it's done like years ago into your life, and right now you just do the same stuff over and over again, and that's why new places seem exciting. Boom, just solve the mystery of why everyone thinks their hometown sucks. So yeah, I don't actually think my hometown does suck. I actually like living here. I think it's got some interesting stuff. It's just all that interesting stuff is interesting when you see it and you're like, oh, this is nice, and then when you do it 1,000 times. My point being, everyone hates their hometown, and I just think London has a lot more, and I think, honestly, London's like a world-class city, and it's like, it can beat any town hands down, let alone where I have lived a lot of my life. So what does my town have in particular? There's like a giant park next to my house, like it's maybe 3 minutes away, and it's like a 10-minute walk across. I like to go there a lot. I like run around the outside sometimes. I like just sit in the center and play some Nintendo Switch. It's actually like a fairly scenic place, I think, and there's like, I don't know, places you can shop. I don't know how I'm answering this question, but like it's a generic English town, and that's pretty cool if you ask me. So with that said, let's move to the third question, which comes in from Matthew Sullivan, who says, #Q, when the update, I assume, comes out, like was just missed out, will you try playing Minecraft without any controls? So first of all, just a pro tip, like if you want to comment for Q&A Saturday, like just read it before you type it, please, because I think this is a cool question, but I was just like, oh god, what's going on here? Like, I think this is a valuable lesson on the internet, actually. If you like misspell and you like miss grammar and it makes no sense, people either assume that you're like either young or stupid. I guess young and stupid is possible, and if that's something you might want to be perceived as, but it's a really weird little like bias the way that works. So pro tip for you all right there, spell well, and I'll think a little bit better of your comment, and maybe other people will too. There you go, life lesson for the bad spelling and grammar, I guess. But with that said, let me answer it by saying that I think that Minecraft without controls is a really fun idea that will be possible after the next update. I know you don't have to bind every single control. You can turn off, at the very least, sprint and pick block, which gets me excited because it makes me think, if you can turn off those controls, can you turn off all the controls? And although playing Minecraft with no controls doesn't make any sense, that's just not playing Minecraft, I think what would be really interesting is seeing how many controls you could remove. So, oh yeah, let's remove, like sprinting, let's remove the ability to open the inventory, let's remove the ability to actually open a crafting table using X. You have to, like, I think there's a bunch of controls you could remove, and it'd be a really fun, Ender Dragon kill, like, how many controls can you still remove from the game and actually beat it still? So, yeah, that's something I'll probably do off the next update. I think it's a good idea, and as long as the game lets me, I'm going to remove as many controls as possible, and it's going to be terrible, and I'm going to love it for that. So with that said, let me move on to the next question, which comes in from the Lapis Creeper, who says, #Q&A, when do you think we'll get dual wielding to its fullest extent? This is a good question because, honestly, the dual wielding in this update, it's not dual wielding, it's being able to have certain stuff appear in the bottom left of your screen, but I really like it because of it's kind of like the, compromise solution, but even though it is the compromise solution, everyone's angry anyway, because like, oh yeah, this could be more than that. So if you're curious as to why they didn't make it for every single item besides combat, if they didn't want to do the dual thing, it's because this means there's no interaction with that slot, it's just a 10th item slot, only for 2 particular items, and I think with the next update, they'll probably move that a little bit further, and they'll probably like slowly push it and see where people's limits is. That's what I'm assuming, and that means I think that the full dual wielding, you know, with the ability to do stuff, that'll probably come at some update later this year if this goes down well enough. If people hate the current dual wielding, I think they'll just be like, oh yeah, well that's all we're going to use it for. But I think we'll see, you know, stuff like shields, stuff like the ability to put torches down, potions, all that stuff will come later, presumably at least. So with that said, let me move on to the fifth question, which comes in from Leon Moran, who says, what do you think the 2 new bosses could be when we get 1 million retweets? So I think they actually have no idea what these 2 new bosses are. I think they were just, you know, I honestly don't think they're expecting 1 million retweets, and I think, you know, as of recording, we're like closing in on 10k. I think that means that the odds of actually, you know, getting 1 million is really, really unlikely, but and therefore they haven't considered it, but I still do think that there's a really high chance they'll have to do it when it gets there. I think when it gets to, let's say, halfway there, they'll be like, oh, we really need to come up with new boss ideas, and then they'll come up with some, and they'll, like, work on it and stuff, and I think that'll happen when it becomes likely that it's going to happen. Right now, it's just like a fun little idea. Again, 10,000 retweets is so many for something, but we're not quite at the level where they're taking it seriously, so as soon as that happens, I think we'll have a better idea of what's coming. At least they will too, because right now, it's a fun little thing, but I still think when it gets that close, that's when something good will happen. So with that said, let me move on to the next question, which comes in from Vasily Kalinkin, who says, #Q, when will we see the next Cooking with Toycat? And Cooking with Toycat is a series I have quite enjoyed, but the problem is I tried to do one like maybe 4 weeks ago, but I didn't, or like 2 months ago or something. It was a while ago, so I did it loads and loads of weeks ago, but the problem was I did it by myself, and I had like a problem recording myself because I was using the YouTube live stream feature. So I think if I'm going to do it again, I'm going to need to like set up a laptop in the kitchen or something like that, or I'm just going to have to get like Jeff around, again, my plumber, or I'm going to have to do something like that to do more Cooking with Toycat, and then I have to like have like a fun idea to cook, because you know, it's a funny little balance, the Cooking with Toycat thing, but I do want to do more of it. It will be back, and I'm glad so many people like it, because it's the weirdest series that turned into a series that shouldn't be a series that I love doing regardless. So let's move into the next question, which comes in from Lack Hope Hape Lewis. Is that like, yeah, it's deliberately misspelled. Okay, anyway, they say, LOL console is a bag of crap. People do not complain that you get slow and crap updates. You have a console, it isn't that powerful compared to a PC. So I just wanted to pull this one out there because I feel like a lot of people have this like elitist card in them, and again, maybe here's a teachable life moment for you, but I think the device you're playing on doesn't really affect most things, especially not Minecraft, you know? It's not like, oh yeah, it needs the 20 cores or whatever that's going on my PC to run those pixels, and yeah, I think if like you're trying to play the elitist game, then it doesn't really make too much sense here. So yeah, if you come into like, oh yeah, I think an update stops because the console, it usually isn't the console that's the problem. Sometimes the fact that they're programmed for 7 consoles is the problem, but the fact that the PC has more power, or like sometimes does, because you get PCs less power than the console, doesn't affect the size of the updates. And I think if you got this big thing of like, aha, look at these silly people playing Minecraft with the console, I think, you know, maybe some people can look at you and say, wow, look at your PC, it's basically a console, haha. And I think that'd be bad enough by itself, but I just wanted to also give you the fun little fact that I think in the past like 5 years there's been maybe 4 updates for the PC, or 5 updates, whereas on the console there's been something like 10 major updates and like 30 other little bug fix sums, but still like 10 major updates versus 5. So I'm just saying that's a lot more updates for the inferior version of the game in your opinion. So yeah, apparently I just I wanted to throw that one in there because a lot of people pull out random unrelated facts as to why something means something else, like aha, the reason that, you know, like this whole console thing, but also like, oh yeah, the reason that there's no dual wielding in 1.11 is because Toycat, he's been making too many videos recently, and the more videos Toycat makes, the less updates 4J makes. Or that rhymes actually, I like that. But no, I think you can put out lots of unrelated facts, but I think it really comes down to, in the end, you know, the reason why any one feature you like didn't make it is because, you know, in the amount of time between last update and this update, there were a certain number of things the studio needs to do. In this case, 4J Studios, you know, there's like 6 or 7 programs or whatever. They had to make the Switch edition, they had to make that minigame and this thing, and you can argue with the way they prioritized that, and I think if you really wanted to, you could stretch and say they should be working double as hard to get double the things done, and maybe that's a thing you believe in, but I think when it comes down to like what you should think about it, it should be like, oh yeah, I prefer this be prioritized, and maybe you should say that in a like a positive way. Get the message out there rather than saying, oh yeah, it's consoles or it's Toycat's thumbnails. They ruin the update. I'm just saying. I've generally seen that, and it's terrible. So with that said, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Will Phil, I can't say Will for some reason, Will Field, who says #Q&A. Do you think we'll be getting Sweeping Edge and the Curse books in the next update? I think it's a chance that we'll get the Curse books as a secret feature, but Sweeping Blade can't come to console because there's no sweeping attack. I think the Sweeping Edge makes it more powerful, but there's no sweeping thing to make more powerful, so Sweeping Edge Enchantment might not even ever make it to console, because, you know, that comes as part of the new combat, which new combat is like, again, back to earliest point, like maybe never or maybe really far down the line, and Curse books hooks, one of the more likely secret features in this update. So let's move into the next question, which comes in from Roldy Plays, who says, what if Minecraft had guns in it? This is the most commonly asked suggestion. I get this every single week, and I figure it's been so long since I went over this one. Why does Minecraft not have guns? Because Minecraft is, I think it's like free ESBR rated. They even confirmed recently, like, they don't want to do it because they'd have to raise the rating of the game. Plus, guns don't make sense in Minecraft. They, you know, like, it's about, they've got bow and arrows already, so you'd be replacing something with something, like, that just makes less sense, in my opinion, because it's not thematically linked. And who really wants guns in Minecraft? I don't think anyone does. I think it's just an idea where you're like, wow, I like these games with guns in. Wouldn't Minecraft be cool with guns? But I don't think Minecraft with guns would be fun. And I've played some servers. There's the Minecraft CSGO server where there is guns in Minecraft, and it's not actually that fun. They don't work very well. And it raises the question of like, oh yeah, so this is just a bad idea. They'd have to raise the ESRB rating. And since Minecraft, you know, caters more and more to kids as the game goes on, that means that they're really just like shooting themselves in the foot with a new gun from Minecraft. Sorry, I'll just stop my thought right there. So with that said, let's move on to the final question, which comes in from Ace Alarm, who says, you were close to guessing the last release date. When do you think the next release date will be? So it's so hard to guess because of all the things that are happening between now and then. If I had to give it an informed prediction though, I would say the 13th of June. The 13th of June, yeah, that is a Tuesday. That's what I'm most thinking, but it could be a lot sooner than that. It could even be next Tuesday because there's a lot of suspicious things going on each week. So when will it be coming out? I really can't confirm 100%, but it's going to be next month, almost 100%. And I think 13th of June is where I would stake my money. If you said, oh, Toycat, if you get the release date wrong, you'll die. I'd say the 13th of June, but I don't have any reason to believe that. So let's just hope our best. So with that said, I hope you'll enjoy today's video. Like it if you liked it, share if you really liked it, subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.